I'll sit and go for five minutes. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Rob from Lightning 5, one of the sponsors of DigiFest. Before I introduce Rose, do please take pictures now and through the day and videos. The Wi-Fi here is very good, it's provided by Lightning Fibre. That does work. And please hashtag Chalk Eastbourne, who have put this event on, and we'll explain actually, Chalk Eastbourne and EBN DigiFest. So those are the two hashtags. Rose Radtke is a brand and community strategist on a mission to help people-driven organisations discover and articulate who they are and grow their audiences authentically and organically. Her philosophy evolves year on year as the world changes, but belonging always remains at its core. So this is building an audience and a community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm not going to talk about the digital afterlife, just to let everyone know. We know we're in the right place. Yeah, the train was cancelled this morning, missed my slot, but here I am. So I'm Rose. It's really nice to be here. I'm a brand and community strategist. As you've just heard, I think, I won't tell you much more about that right now. But I wanted to just start by asking you a question. Right now, do you have an audience or do you have a community? Anyone? Any businesses here? Yeah? Okay. What do you have? An audience or a community? Audience. Anyone else?
We say we have a community, but it's probably, it's somewhere between those two.
Okay, very common. What's your business?
It's a grant-giving organisation, so we have a lot of projects that are in our sphere. So again, we talk about them as our community. But
Yeah.
we try and engage them in that way. But
Yeah.
they are very much an audience, sort of broadcasting from us.
Yeah. Anyone else? What would you think you have? What business do you have?
Retail coffee shop.
Okay. But it could very well turn into a community. Yeah. All right. So my next question is, what's the difference? And I'm going to give you a clue here. So right now you're my audience, right? But if you turn to each other and you talk about this question, you co-create the solution, you become a community. So I'm going to ask you to turn to whoever's next to you and introduce yourself and come up with a word between you. What is the difference between an audience and a community? One word. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so what have we come up with? Anyone got a word for me? Now that you're all a community, what are you doing? Sharing. Great. Any other words? We've got sharing. Communicating. Great. Mutuality. I like it. Teamwork. Okay, we're getting there. Anyone else? Sorry? Engaging, yeah.
It started by looking at a problem we can solve. So you call it community.
Right.
You're the same age, obviously. I'm quite young. Actually, I'm quite inspired by looking at all aspirations. So, what's your name? Oscar. So this said dimension, and I think we all like it. So that's what
Okay.
we're trying to solve now.
So you're co-creating.
Co-creating.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to give you my definition. There's a lot of truth in all of this. What I believe the difference is between an audience and a community is participation. So an audience really starts to become a community when individuals participate. They deliver value to each other. So they're no longer just receiving from an organisation or from the top. They're actually co-creating, they're delivering value to each other, they're participating in whatever way they feel comfortable to do so. So, community, actually we're not going to Beyonce yet. Community might feel quite new to you right now. It's a fairly new sort of thing in the business world. And here's a confession, thank you, Russ. It's kind of new to me as well. So I've been a brand strategist for the last 12 years. And it's only in the last couple of years that I've really, really started getting into this world of community. I love brand strategy. I love branding. I think it's really cool. So does Beyonce. And I agree with Beyonce. It's not about perfection, it's about purpose. And the reason I love brands is that, well, working in branding is I work with purposeful brands, brands that are doing something to change the status quo, and I help them be successful. But a couple of years back, I started feeling like something was missing. It just wasn't quite enough anymore. And I really pondered on this sort of feeling. I pride myself on my intuition, and this feeling that I was getting was a bit, uncomfortable. And I went over and over it, and I just couldn't work out what was going on. And then I was inspired by a quote from this marketing guru, who you might know, Seth Godin. And he said, "We're leaving the industrial economy and entering a connection economy, where businesses who connect people will be the most successful." And I was like, that's it. The missing piece here is community. Branding, although it will always have its place, it's important, and it's creative, and it's brilliant, it's just not enough. And I don't believe that traditional advertising is really enough anymore. We're bombarded all the time. We don't want it anymore. We don't want to just be served up whatever the algorithm thinks we should have. We want to connect. We want to understand from other people what we should be buying into and what we should be consuming and participating in. So I think the reason for this shift is actually, and I don't want to harp on about it, we're over the pandemic, kind of, but it was the pandemic. We were all forcibly kept apart for so long, and we lost interest in material things, and we realised that connection was so important. We wanted to be together. We wanted to, be in it together. So community, I think, in the last few years since 2020 has really, really grown, and it's grown as it's now its own sector. It's massive, and there's an amazing community of community builders called Rosieland. If anyone's interested, that's a really cool thing to be a part of, where you can learn so much about this whole world. I think that community is incredible, but it doesn't just happen. You can't just kind of set up a Facebook group and expect it to all take off. That's not how it works. Communities are delicate, sprawling, complex creatures, and they need love and TLC, basically, and very good managers as well. So that's why I became very interested in community strategy. Because if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan, your community is very likely to fall flat, or you will fall flat, because it takes so much out of you trying to kind of get all those people to participate all the time. It can be really challenging. So a great strategy is really, really important, and that's what gets results. So what is a great strategy? A community with a great strategy occupies a very unique position in its market. There's a lot of overlaps with branding here, a lot of overlaps with how brand strategy works. It has a very, very clear purpose, and it has very clear values as well, and members share those values. So it's really important to build your community based on shared values. There's also a real understanding amongst members of how to behave in the context of this community. So effectively a code of conduct, but actually working out how to roll out that code of conduct creatively so that people understand is very important to community building and management. And of course there are recognisable markers of community and rituals which foster belonging. So that's all those lovely things you do, all the events, all the times you bring those people together and celebrate and have those really rich moments together. They are rituals that are incredibly important to the success of any community. And if you've got a great strategy, you can expect real results and business results as well. You will find, well, for one, your community will be much easier to run if you've got a great strategy, and potentially your business as well. You will start to grow on referrals. You won't need to rely on those paid advertising, all of that anymore, because people will be talking about the community. They'll be bringing their friends. They'll be saying, hey, you've got to be part of this. It's really, really cool. A great community can be a great asset to a brand, whether it's online, an online community, even a Slack group or a Facebook group, or whether it's, you know, real life events where you're bringing people together, and, you know, doing stuff together. A community is a really great asset. And of course, engaging and effective and rewarding conversations happen in communities. You can listen, you can really understand what people want, ideas come out of these conversations, and yeah, it can be incredible. And communities lead to new income streams for the business because you will be listening, again, to what people want, and you can build around that. So, take another moment to maybe turn to the other side of you, if you've got someone on the other side, and just chat about what communities are you part of. So just to give you a bit of inspiration, it might be a fitness community or a learning community, or, you know, you might like to get your fashion secondhand online. You probably know what I'm talking about, some of you. Just have a think about what kind of communities you're part of, and have a chat about it, just for a minute. So what are you part of? Has anyone got any communities that they can... I need to have a bell, don't I? I'm going to let these guys get out of here. Still going. So, anyone got a community they can name that they're part of? What? A networking community. Which one is it? Great, yeah, Eastbourne Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce is a great example of a community, yeah. And we're here in one right now as well, there you go. Anyone else? Yeah.
Samaritans, I'm just going to drop it in again.
Samaritans, great, yeah, lovely community. And that's a purposeful community. I mean, they're always the best to be part of. They're just so, yeah.
4 hours, best 4 hours.
You're inspiring me to get involved in that. Great. Anyone else?
I run the Best of Eastbourne, so we've got a Facebook group with over 6,000 users and showcasing all the great things that we spot on.
Wow. That's a big community then, 6,000. That's a big management job you've got there on your hands. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Wow. Okay. So, me, I love Vinted. I get pretty much all my clothes on Vinted. Absolutely love it. It's a great example of a community online. I love home exchange. In the last couple of years, I've been to Canada, I've been to Iceland, I've been to France, I've been to Spain. I swap my homes. You get to know each other's culture. You know another family. It's just brilliant. It's a brilliant community. Platform 9 is my co-working space. Fantastic community there. They really got it done, and I also consult for them, so that would be awful if I said that was not a good community, but it's brilliant. Mumsnet, don't know if you've got any parents here, but we probably ended up on Mumsnet at some point. Mum Rave, that's a bit cooler. Love doing Mum Rave every week. Yeah, Checker Trade, Uber, Spotify. There's loads of examples of communities that are just, we all probably use day in, day out. So small local communities are just as valuable, sometimes if not more, than those big brand communities. And this is an example of one such small local community. It's an exercise class I go to every week. Unfortunately, the wind caught my t-shirt at a really awkward angle, and it's not my best moment. But this is a fantastic community because it is built around the hidden rather than the obvious needs of its users. And this is a great little tip to anyone with a community. Work out what your hidden needs are, the hidden needs of your community members, because then you can build a strategy that really serves them. So I'm going to give you an example. The obvious needs of Impact 45 community members is to get fit, right? They want to get fit. The hidden need is to exercise without feeling out of place or self-conscious. These people do not want to go and work out in a gym. They're not those kind of people. So the leaders of this community, the trainers, have decided to run these classes on the beach, never in a gym. They do it week in, week out, no matter what the weather. And they attract a really wide range, a very diverse range of people, very intergenerational. So there's like anyone from 25 to 75, all gets together, loads and loads of people every single week. And they push us really, really hard, but it's really fun. Everyone loves it. Newcomers are welcomed. And there's a WhatsApp group and you've got all the usual polls and banter and everything. But it just grows and grows and grows because it answers that hidden need of getting fit without feeling really self-conscious and out of place. And it just works. And this started with 5 people on the beach, I think, a year ago, and now they're getting at least 30 every single week, unless it's like torrential rain. They still do it, but then we're back to 5. So, yeah, it all comes back to participation. It's really important to find ways to get people to participate. Think about what they are going to get out of coming, but also what they're going to give back, because people actually love to participate. So whether that's, you know, they're going to get fit, they're going to meet new people, but what are they also going to give back? They're going to welcome newcomers. They're going to bring their friends. That's referrals. And they're going to contribute in that WhatsApp group. They're going to bring their A game. They're going to bring a smile. It's all really important. And that's why people keep coming back each time. It's all about participation. So, we're back to that. I'm going to tell you about a client of mine, Silicon Brighton. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Silicon Brighton. Yeah? Okay, so this is a really good example of an organisation that has built a fantastic community. Built on participation. But also, I wanted to show you the value of a strong purpose as well, and positioning. So this is Silicon Brighton's positioning. Brighton is the seaside home of the tech industry. It's where tech businesses start and grow and tech professionals thrive in life and work. Silicon Brighton hosts Brighton and Hove's tech sector. We're a friend to everyone in the tech industry at every stage of their career. We make meaningful introductions and engineer opportunities for collaboration across organisations. Everything we do helps make Brighton and Hove a great place to bring tech to life. So this is a really, really clear positioning, and it sets them apart from other similar kind of networking organisations in the city. And it's, again, positioning is incredibly important for community building. So then their purpose. The Silicon Brighton community is where people can proudly identify as techies together. It's where they can be brave and cerebral, where they can speak their minds without fear of judgment. People join our community to find other tech people on the same wavelength, who are interested in what they have to say and have valuable knowledge to share in return. Silicon Brighton holds the space for tech people to grow together, personally and professionally. So when I first started working with Silicon Brighton, their sort of strategy was built on the obvious needs of their members, and that was to network, professionally network, and to learn. And we did a research project. During the research project I did with them, I uncovered the hidden needs, which was actually to bring techies out from behind their computer screens, because actually a lot of these people are introverts. They don't necessarily, I can see you nodding there, we've just heard, they don't necessarily feel comfortable coming out into a social situation and just where they've never met anyone and just getting stuck in. So the whole community strategy was built around bringing techies out from behind their computer screens and helping them to feel really comfortable to participate. And it really paid off, this strategy, because they made a commercial return as well. They've now got some amazing sponsors, Octopus Energy, University of Sussex, and they're doing really, really well. So they've grown massively as a result. So, sounds cool. A lot of people then ask me about the ROI. Now, the ROI of community is really, really difficult to measure. It's kind of it's a moving beast, a community is, and a lot of interaction, a lot of impact happens offline, in person, face to face, or in private conversations. So it can be really tricky to work out what the ROI is. But there are lots of reasons to invest. Firstly, of course, there's we're fatigued. We're digitally fatigued. Digital noise is overwhelming. So we really need to start talking to our audiences differently. We really need to build connection in a much more authentic way. New products and services can be much easier to build, test, roll out with a community behind you who you can turn to for testing and support and feedback. Communities obviously promote massive trust, brand loyalty, and growth can happen very organically through referrals in communities. And also, of course, you always get instant honest feedback whenever you need it, usually. But yeah, you can go to your community members and you can ask them what they think, and you can change. You can be very, very agile if you have a community behind you. Airbnb is a fantastic, okay, thank you, example of a really strong community. They innovate all the time based on community feedback, and they storyboard sort of real member journeys. They analyse their customer service tickets. They're constantly speaking with one-to-one with guests and hosts about how to improve. And all of their 2024 updates have been made to facilitate participation. So this really backs up the idea that not only do we want participation as community builders, also members, audiences want to participate. So that's good news. So just to finish, a few predictions for 2025. For brands mostly. I think that holistic brand experiences are going to be really great and big in 2025. So I'm talking trips, workshops. We talked about our hobbycraft store over here, you know, bringing people in, bringing your customers in and doing workshops with them and getting them together and getting them to co-create, and during that time hearing what they have to say, hearing how you could improve and grow effectively. Campaigns featuring real people, real customers, real community members. You know, we don't need stock imagery anymore. If we've got communities, we can get real people in, and that's what people want to see now. It's all about authenticity. Events, real life events for connection. This is especially important for underrepresented groups. So bringing those people that are harder to engage together and making them feel special, making them feel worthwhile is going to be big in 2025, I think. And also creating more private online spaces for connection. So actually, you know, less interest in, you know, your social media, Instagram, and actually thinking more about maybe building a WhatsApp community or starting a Substack and using the thread section to bring people together in more private, intimate spaces online. And this is not new, but authentic connection with customers is imperative. It's not optional. You have to be talking back to people now. It's all about authenticity. That is what people want. So that's it from me. I've kind of just scratched the surface, but yeah, as ever, grab me or follow me on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I have to go and do the school run, so I won't be around that long. But feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and shoot me a message, or yeah, I'll be around for the next half hour or so. So yeah, it'd be great to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. That was great.
Thanks.
It's bad having a microphone. We didn't have to cope with that one.
That's fine.
I think I've
Got a big voice.
There's a goodie bag for you as a thank you.
Thank you.
Just so everyone knows, it's lunchtime now. There is a session in here